My name's Chris Metz. My wife and I, my wife's name is Betsy, we own Cedar Run Farm along with my parents, Bill and Debbie. And we started Cedar Run Farm back in 2010, which is located in Friendly, West Virginia, just a few miles away from Sistersville, West Virginia in Tyler County. Right now, we're sitting inside of our sugar house. Question we oftentimes get is, what type of maple trees do you tap? We obviously tap maple trees because it's called maple syrup, but what are the types of maple trees that you'll tap? And the two predominant types of trees here are a sugar maple tree and a red maple tree. The first part of making maple syrup is to actually go out and tap your trees. You have to go out and drill a hole in the tree, and from that hole, the sap will come out of the hole and into the system, and that's how you start to collect it. We're looking for trees that are somewhere in that 10-inch range diameter and above. We have about between 6,000 and 7,000 taps at Cedar Run Farm. We have roughly 4,500 at this location, and then roughly 2,500 at my parents' property. We're looking for freeze and thaw cycles because we have a tubing system that we have all the trees set up on. And we run vacuum through that tubing system, and that vacuum allows us to procure more sap from the trees, even in poor weather conditions. And you need the system to be airtight, so to speak. So as soon as we're done tapping, I'm in the woods walking all the main lines and then fixing all the leaks that we didn't get fixed, we weren't aware of in the preseason. And the way the tubing system is constructed, you have your drop line, and the drop line is what actually connects the tree into the tubing system through the spout, and it goes down into what's called a lateral line, which is a 5/16 inch diameter line, and that line will connect anywhere from 5 to 7 trees into what is called our main line. And our main line is a 1-inch line. So as you kind of envision this in your head, you kind of envision maybe a spider web of tubing through the woods, and that's kind of what it looks like when you look at it from a macro scale. The 1-inch main line will then go and travel into what's called our wet-dry line system. And that's the system that moves the air and separates the air from the liquid and allows that vacuum system to work so that you yield as much sap as possible during the season. And eventually goes into our pump house. They end up going through the vacuum system into a machine called an extractor. And from there, it will pump into a tank, our collection tank, which is a 5,700 gallon tank that's in the pump house. And it's going to kick the transfer pump on, and it will pump it automatically to where we're sitting right now in the sugar house. We have about 12,000 gallons of capacity to store sap. We're going to start processing it through our reverse osmosis machine. The reverse osmosis machine will remove about 90% of the water from the sap before we even have to start boiling it. So it really reduces the boiling time, reduces the amount of fuel we have to use for the evaporator, and we can process between 10 and 12,000 gallons of sap in about 4 hours. We put the raw sap through at very, very high pressure. The water that's removed from the sap is called permeate, and that permeate water is about as pure and clean a water as you can get. There are no minerals in it. There's nothing in it. It's just H2O. And that permeate water is what we're going to use later in the evening to flush out reverse osmosis, to clean it out, and to also clean the equipment that we have in the sugar house. The next step in the process of making pure maple syrup would be the evaporation process. The concentrated sap is going to go into the overhead tank above the evaporator and then gravity feed into the evaporator. And this is kind of where the magic happens, so to speak. And an evaporator is really, I'm going to simplify this, it's nothing more than a machine that boils a lot of water. And it boils at about 360 gallons an hour. So it can go through a lot of sap in a very short period of time. The big question that we get from a lot of people is, how do you know when your syrup's done? How do you know that it's pure maple syrup? We're checking that syrup that's drawing off with a little piece of equipment. It's a glass tube called a hydrometer, and we drop that down into the hydrometer cup, and that essentially checks the density, sugar density of that syrup. And if it doesn't show correctly on the hydrometer, we know that we need to make adjustments to our draw-off temperature, because we want to make sure that everything that's coming off of there is finished syrup and ready to go in a bottle and go on someone's table. So it goes into the draw-off tank, and from the draw-off tank it goes through our filter press, and the filter press will remove any natural sediment that occurs within the syrup.
We are proud to produce a wide selection of maple products. We also produce pure maple sugar, which is essentially granulated maple syrup, which can be used in the place of sugar in any recipe. We also produced infused maple syrups. Currently, we have a cinnamon infused and a vanilla infused syrup, which are very popular. We're always looking for new and unique ways to use maple syrup to provide our retailers, our wholesalers, and restaurants. We are very proud to produce a pure 100% natural product, which is produced solely between Pleasants and Tyler counties in West Virginia for a farm-to-table product. We hope that this video has helped you to learn more about what we do here at Cedar Run Farm. We'd love for you to visit our website at cedarrunfarm.com or follow us on Facebook for up-to-date information on events that we have going on here at the farm.